everyone, and welcome your beautiful faces back to Ireland Esports Collegiate Series Spring 25, where I am returning to the microphone. It is me, OBK. Joining me today is a new member of the crew. Welcome, Echo Freds. How are you feeling, man, about joining this broadcast team?
Oh, I'm feeling excited. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm feeling exemplary. I don't even know how to describe it. And today, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how each team performs.
Well, you've got a good kind of game set for tonight, because we're going to see a finalist from last split going up against some new talent, which I'm actually not familiar with, but it should be interesting to see how it shakes up. We've got UCD Leviathans A going up against QUB Krakens. So,
Oh,
not too familiar with the Krakens team, but UCD did make finals, although they are down a man as we're after finding out. What do you reckon here at Freds on the man down situation?
I mean, he must have something more important to do, so we're going to have to watch the Silver Smurfer do what he does best, and we can get through the match. And I'm pretty sure that he'll be the star player within the draft.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm pretty excited to see it. UCD, fairly aggressive team. They've kind of been playing a lot. They play all these splits. A lot of the roster does kind of stick together, but we have seen a lot of shift. Honestly, it's kind of a shell of its former self, but if I'm kind of want to be really harsh about it, because UCDA missing their support. They used to run Priston. Why Do You Ask Me isn't here. So we've got Corona playing today, and we've got Lozy, who is, I don't know, not familiar. I think he was UCDB, but he's not UCDA player last split. The only remaining player from the original UCD Leviathans A roster is Takawako, or Chinese Man. So, yeah, kind of seeing the shell of the former self, and that can be shown on the ranks. But sure, look, I kind of think those kinds of teams, you're never going to have the same roster for so many years. Like, people will
Yeah, of
graduate, people
course.
leave. You're kind of going to have a situation where people kind of just shift to and from. So I think what's going to be interesting is really seeing how they gel together, especially now we've got a sub in for AD carry. I kind of think UCD need to really be strong going against this team that they're probably not too familiar with. I don't think they've played them before. I don't know any of the people here besides Jojo GA, who is actually a returning player. I've just after seeing. I don't know any of these players. Maybe they name changed. I don't know. But this is going to be definitely an interesting one. And I think QEB going into this, I think they should really have a good kind of setup. And I think going into UCD, they want to take advantage of it because they know what UCD might play, or at least what they're kind of capable of playing, especially Takawako. Loves that
Yeah.
Kesante, loves these picks, these aggressive top laners. Do you think there's any kind of super strong pick prevalent right now that I think either team would want to prioritize that you've seen, maybe in pro play or anything? Do you think any kind of situation? Or
I mean, most recently, the only kind of pro play I've actually been watching is Los Ratones, and they seem to always try hover both Mel or usually Corky. Now, I know these two have most recently, one's just come out, and the other one has also kind of just come into the scene with Mel. And both of these, I know from previous experience, are definitely strong picks because they just have such an oppressive laning phase while also having a really good survivability with their each care package and Mel's reflection ability. And with this, I think they would probably be really good to try and get that in the first kind of draft, or they might just be banned outright because people would just be too scared to deal with it. Since with Mel, she's completely brand new. No one really has any idea how to go against her and how to deal with the oppressiveness of her entire laning phase. You can't exactly dive her because she can just say, no, I'm going to walk back to lane. I don't need to deal with any of your spells, anything you got to deal with. And I feel like at that point, the only thing you can kind of do to actually interact with her is probably just whenever she has low mana or anything along those lines. And same with Corky. He has such a good tool to just leave the engagement, and you don't actually need to worry about anything because if he is in, let's say, mid lane or if he's in ADC position, he'll have a support on both kind of in the middle of the river, ready to come help him at any kind of point throughout the match.
yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the priority picks are as we do start the bans. The Amumu straight away, probably a placeholder, might be legitimate. No, it is Amumu. And we're seeing a Tryndamere getting banned away for the side of UCD, I believe, because if we're in the right order, blue is going to be QB on the left. So UCD, I believe, are on the right. Or am I
Okay.
wrong? Yeah, so we're going into now. You're going to see some priority picks already getting taken away there. The Ambessa immediately getting banned out there against UCD. That's a strong pick. Aggressive, good in pro play. Chinese Man, or Takawako now, is definitely favoring this champion. Banning the MF away as well. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that versus other prevalent DD carries.
Well, I mean, as we can see, there's two very strong picks being banned out for red side here. There goes a Mumu and Ambessa. And also on the other side, we have Aurora, which we all know is extremely strong at dealing with large health carries or just tanks in general because she has that percentage health damage. And Yon also is very good at engaging and disengaging. He also has a lot of life sustain. And he's so prevalent throughout pro play that you can kind of just expect him to be banned depending on draft.
Jinx getting taken away B1. What am I looking at here? Is AD carry in such a bad position that we're just going to B1 AD? Like, well, I mean, Jinx is a very safe AD carry. Not too many ways to punish her. I mean, you could probably take the Varus here if I were UCD, but they are hovering the Syndra. Pretty good chances. Something Matamar is a former UCD Leviathans member, used to play a lot in his games. Are they going to lock it in? Yes, they are. Pluto, by the way, as well, really showed up in the last split on the Syndra, if I'm remembering correctly. Memory's just flowing back in here, but yeah, Syndra, a pretty good pick, and I think it's comfort for UCD. But again, blind AD carry, blind mid laner. Like, they're leaving themselves open here. I assume they're going to leave top lane as the counter pick for Takawaka, which is fair, because they banned 3 top laners against QUB, so...
I mean, I feel like they're feeling pretty confident, right? Because you don't really pick a carry such as Jinx without actually having a game plan for going into it or having your best player on those kind of picks, especially because before a kill, Jinx, she's not exactly mobile. She can get countered by a lot of things. The main one I can think of that comes to mind is probably Jarvan with his ultimate. Now, if you have a flash up, you can get out of that quite easily, but still, it's a very difficult thing to counteract. And they must be feeling confident by picking Jinx. Same with Syndra. She's not exactly a mobile champion, and she doesn't really have any kind of ways to get out of a team fight. It's the same kind of analogy with Jarvan. If Jarvan just goes in, the only thing that she can kind of do is either burst him down or knock him away. But as we can see now, they've picked Ahri and Vi. These are very good champions. I think they would be very successful at being able to kill Syndra, especially because of the mobility issues. If they both gank, Vi can just press R straight away, get her knocked up, and then Ahri can just come straight in, charm her, and at that point, I think it'd be too late for them.
Interesting that they picked the Caitlyn, because back in the day, Jinx used to be a pretty hard counter to Caitlyn. So you used to pick Jinx into Caitlyn to counter it, but then they're picking the Caitlyn into Jinx, which is also interesting. I wonder if it's comfort towards Caitlyn, but I also think Caitlyn is just a really nice champ, safe, a lot of range, pretty good early. Does fall off in the mid game, but again, like Syndra, good late game, Caitlyn, good late game. J4 can do some serious things as well. You can also drop traps into the Jarvan 4 ult as well if you want to.
Yeah, very true.
I'm liking the comp UCD are building so far. Honestly, I also like what QUB are doing. Vi, Ahri, Jinx, they know what they kind of want to do. A lot of pick potential. Also favor a bit of a team fight, but they want to really get into that backline, and I really think I like what QUB are doing. Nami getting banned away. Don't like the champion. Good at the moment as well. I can see why that gets taken away for the side UCD, taken away from QUB. What will QUB do in response here? Will they start banning top laners against Takawako since they can assume it's probably going to be last pick top? Or do they cater more towards support and take out some of the more priority picks there? And it is going to be the Aatrox against Takawako.
I feel like it's a general consensus that top laners are more important than support lane. Now, that could just be a very low elo thing. However, we've seen consistently throughout many different games that banning top laners is very important when it comes to securing grubs and securing these other kinds of objectives. Now, if the support has a very good presence around the map, it is very hard to try to get these objectives, especially with Drake, especially with Grubs or Herald or whatever comes up. But as we can see now, they're bringing in a Vel'Koz, and I definitely feel like they must be feeling confident coming into this game.
Yeah, they were having there a bit of jokes from UCD there. Having Blitz. I like Blitz Kate. Vel'Koz again for poke lane. They're just looking to do a kill lane straight up. Getting double poke here, but I think they're deciding between whether they want to go for a bit more engage or go for poke against Jinx, because whatever Jinx is going to go, it's going to be an enchanter anyway, so maybe we see the Meow. Do we see Yuumi here? I honestly, man, QUB, I know Yumi's in a bad spot, but if QUB want to lock in that Yuumi right now, they'll get one fan right now.
Yeah, I would definitely be, and I'd definitely be a help towards the amount of poke that's here. That shielding will definitely come in handy, because Kate Vel'Koz is going to be such an oppressive lane. I'm going to be surprised on how they can even get farm at that point.
I'm assuming Mel just... I mean, people just aren't comfortable enough on Mel to pick it. I know Mel is up right now, slipped through the ban phase. No one took it, but I'm just going to assume no one really wants to. But yeah, they're going to go for disengage. Something like a Janna, just let Jinx do her thing, and then ended with the Gwen for QUB. Not sure how I feel about that, but I mean they got a lot of sideline pressure. You can just stick Gwen and do 1-3-1, and you can kind of have a little fun there. But against UCD, I think UCD just clearly want to fight. And then they're looking, hovering the Garen for the side of Taka Waka. I think they just want to put him in the side lane. Someone needs to match this Gwen. They need to pick something a bit more aggressive here. I don't know what Taka wants to round it out with, but Garen is an interesting hover.
Very true. Now, I think a Gwen pick isn't too bad into Jarvan because he wants to get as close as possible to Jarvan to fight. And I think Jarvan is kind of going to be countered by that fact. And so with Janna as well, he can just knock him up straight away, or he can just push him back, depending on how fast it is for Jarvan to press his ultimate ability, which will get him snagged.
I think definitely both teams have drafted interesting comps. We've seen some pretty... I mean, I actually like QEB's comp a lot. I think it's... Considering what like they're trying to do there, I quite like what QEB are doing. I just wonder if UCD, because of the situation of how like that team's done well consistently throughout most of the splits, are they just going to think they can just muscle through? It's just a team of Platinum Emerald players, don't have too much competitive experience besides maybe Jojo GA. They're also kind of rookies into this. I would definitely wonder whether UCD are just having a sake of, well, we'll just pick what's aggressive, pick what's good early, win lane, win game, hence the Garen, hence the Caitlyn, and even J4 can do a lot of aggressive early ganking as well. As I think we're just going to throw it to a quick break, and we're going to have to find out what UCD and QEB do here. Do not go anywhere, lads. We will be with you shortly. are on the Rift for week 2 of Ireland Esports Collegiate Series Spring, where we're just about to begin game 1 between UCD Leviathans A and QUB Krakens, where I am OBK99, with me is Echo Frets, and we are just about to kick it off. What are you thinking, man? What do you think, Echo Frets?
I'm thinking they might have an early skirmish, especially because they have a Garen and loads of other trying to engage champions versus what I'd consider probably early and weak champions like, say, Janna and Jinx, mainly just because they don't really have much utility until they're level 3, where they can roam around the map and do whatever they need to. And we're given the fact that with these new feats of strength, you want to try to get some kills as early as possible on that board.
Yeah, feats of strength are really big. I think they have serious spikes. The new boots are nice. I know when they first came out, people said they were really overpowered. I've heard they're trying to buff some of them, I think, as far as I remember hearing. But I also think, like, I think something like that's always very situational. Like just having anything that kind of scales off, you do abilities and you get like one objective, you get a random buff, and you also get an ability to purchase something that the other team can't. I think that's very not gimmicky, I'll say, but I also think like we won't be talking about this next year when it gets removed, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very enticing either
like,
way. Yeah,
yeah,
of course.
It's quite
I mean,
impactful,
like you want to get those kills as fast as possible. It kind of just incentivizes, say, in pro games where there's not much killing going on. Just that, you know, actually have some team fights, not be AFK till 15 minutes until you lose your first tower.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case. I think right now I'd be very worried if I was like trying to figure out the game, because if you try to figure out new mechanics, especially like trying to figure out how to kind of fit Atakan into the mix, and then one season later the mechanics change entirely again, and you've got to learn a whole new set. And people will be happy to do that like every season. It just makes it less accessible to new players.
Exactly. I mean, especially when you think about new players, there's so many different types of like completely new experiences for a new player to deal with. First, it used to be Dragon, Herald, Baron. Now it's Dragon, Grubs, Herald, Akaton, and also Baron. There's five different things now instead of 3. It may sound not like a lot, but it's a huge jump. That's an extra 66% in ways of actually trying to play the game.
And looking at the game right now, it's clearly kind of dead even. Both top laners having a bit of skirmish back and forward. Sweeper is about half HP now. Takawako just kind of walking forward a bit here. He's looking to go a bit more aggressive. He's going to put that E, not going to put anything forward. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, you can see kind of Jinx being pushed back a little bit here, but ganking me in by Irene. Good night, Irene. Onto Pluto here. Pluto takes a big chunk of damage, but nothing comes of it.
Yeah, I can see definitely on top lane with Garen. He's trying to utilize his passive ability and get as much damage out as he can early, so he can be as oppressive as he can within the next few levels and that healing ability.
I definitely think something to keep an eye out as well is Caitlyn Vel'Koz have some serious level 6 kill pressure. Level 3 too, but level 6 it's pretty big for Caitlyn, because all they have to do is just land one trap, and then Vel'Koz just puts that W to knock him up into an ulti, and then Caitlyn ulti just finishes him off, and that's
exactly
just
yeah.
Like,
yeah, it does vaporize them quite quickly.
I'd really worry them right now.
And as we can see, they're kind of just using as much of their range as they can, just bullying underneath tower.
I mean, at the moment, you can see that creepy... I can't read the name. Creepy Hyper Pro. I love the names of the split, guys. Creeper Hyper Pro and Marvelous Badger, trying to say that, are looking for something. But Jojo GA right now just got found. Did Charmstring the best. Taking a tower shot. Forced to walk away there. But as we were saying earlier on, I think especially a lot of these players need to be extra careful. Look at the Jinx right now. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it's not done just yet. You see Goodnight Irene looking for String the Best, but doesn't actually cast him. Does commit the flash, but forces the flash back from the Jarvan. Pluto putting something out there, not going to do any real damage though.
Yeah, that was definitely very close. We expected something to happen the first time that Jarvan tried to engage. Didn't see too much happening, and then afterwards, seeing that Jarvan himself almost dies. That's quite a string of experiences to see in mid lane so soon in between each other.
Meanwhile, in the bot lane, all summoners are up, but we might see some ganks soon. Vi's looking for the recall. We see Creeper Hyper Pro nearly getting knocked out there by Lozy. Level 4, so it doesn't have any kind of execute, but at the same time, I would still definitely be worried right now, because Lozy is kind of pushing hard. He's 10 CS up right now. Vel'Koz can also do some bit of damage, even though he doesn't really have much mana. So I really think the bot lane for QUB need to look to recall. They're staying quite aggressive here, though. I would be really worried right now if I was the bot lane of QUB.
Had a very nice shielding there by Janna, and I mean, as we can see, we might be able to witness a death soon underneath the tower by the blue side. And with all this poke, I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, as we can see, Vi's hovering, ready for the dive, and she might actually be able to counter gank here and actually kill them both.
They're looking for something, but it looks like they were spotted out there. Is there any wards? Can't really tell. But yeah, they did manage to kind of cop out that Vi was hovering bot side, play it safe and recall. Nicely done from Lozy and Corona. Meanwhile, though, the Sweeper and Takawaka have just been having a noodle fight in this top lane.
Exactly, and as we can see, they're just kind of trading, not doing much just yet. We're still kind of just waiting for level 6, and Syndra's using all her abilities mid. She's kind of vulnerable now to a gank because she used her pushback, but as we can kind of see, there's nothing there to capitalize on it just yet.
Yeah, once Syndra doesn't have Scattered the Weak, it gets really hard for her to kind of get that kill onto Ahri, because I think Ahri's just so nimble. It's kind of going to be quite hard for her, besides with ulti, to take out. And Jojo GA hasn't been doing too bad neither. Lane's quite dead even. I still think the area where the most pressure is going to be happening is probably more towards that bot lane. I think bot lane will be quite scary towards this level 6. Meanwhile, though, looking like something might be starting here around the Rift Herald. Good night, Irene. Looking for something on to String the Best. In goes Jojo GA, trying to go forward. Jojo GA goes aggressively looking for String the Best, but they have started the Void Grubs, and it looks like Jarvan can't walk forward. Pluto is down to half. Other members of UCD aren't here just yet, but QUB might retreat. Sweeper got ignited, actually, by Takawako, but he's going to try and pursue it further, potentially looking for the kill onto the Garen. In comes Go Down Irene. In comes the Vi. Out comes the down from the Gwen. Gwen picks up the first blood. String the Best walking away. Knocking up by the Janna. Exhaust is going to be used there by the Janna. But in goes String the Best. Pluto gets killed back in response. QUB running with their tail between their legs. Gets taken out here. Pluto just about stays alive. And that's a 2-for-1. Going to be a 3-for-1 potentially here for the side of UCD.
That was a crazy re-engage by the other team. And I mean, now they get the 2 extra grubs as well. They're rewarded for it. And at the very start, we thought, oh God, it wasn't going to be a very successful gank in the river. But I mean, they somehow made it work.
I really do think what UCD did there was nice. I think the re-engage there by String the Best was very well. Pluto just about getting away with his life in that fight as well. There were some close calls for QB there. They nearly got away with it, but I think they just got a bit too greedy and walked it just a bit too far forward. They should have really just disengaged earlier. But, I mean, overall, it's only a 1-for-2. Goal lead is 2, well, not 2, maybe 1.5k for UCD, so it's nothing crazy. They can still do stuff. Dragon up right now, though, is going to be the Ocean Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, and with the Grubs fight as well, it's not quite nice because neither side actually gets the first thing towards feats of strength. But as we can see now, there's an engagement onto Gwen by both Jarvan and Garen. We can see if they almost die here, they might be able to get a kill. Oh, nice. Okay, they get the kill for it. And as we can see, when you walk up that far and you're unprepared for the gank with no wards, no extra protection, you will just be punished.
Yeah, the Demacian Justice just doing bits there for Garen. I mean, he's just an annoying champion to deal with in low elo, and he's an annoying champion to deal with right now in ICS. So, honestly, I'm happy to see it, but at the same time, what can it do later against the Gwen? We're going to have to see really what impact it has, because it doesn't really have too much team fight pressure. I really think that split is going to be Garen versus Gwen, and I think once Garen gets that MR, I wonder whether Gwen really has a chance to survive that kind of trades against Garen, especially with that passive.
I mean, I'd say depending, I think Gwen probably won't be as affected by it, given the fact that she is kind of relatively centered around true damage. But as we can see now, Vel'Koz is getting caught out. He has to flash over the wall, and unfortunately, they weren't able to get the kill. However, they actually got his flash, giving a load of utility for the other team to be able to get a pick later on in the game.
Yeah, QUB actually aren't playing too bad. I know they lost that fight slightly, but I really think they're really not in a bad spot right now. They're only 2 kills down. Dragon's up. They have a good chance of any because they're already there. They haven't dewarded it, so UCD do have the ward advantage there. But Goodnight Irene is hovering bot side. The only thing is the top laners, no TP available for the sweeper means it's going to be a 4v4, and they're missing the Gwen if they do start the fight here. String the Best, dropping the flag over the red buff. Does he see it's being done right now? He goes in. He's looking for the smite steal. Did he smite it back? I can't really tell. Did he get it? No, but in comes the charm. Cataclysm gets used. Jojo GA might have just killed himself there. Unfortunately, nicely does. The Scattered Weak does land onto Jojo GA. Vel'Koz picking himself up the kill. They're looking to go a bit further to pick up the Vi, but UCD don't need to. They are 4-1 up in kills.
Very nice, especially with that Vi sidestep there from the Vel'Koz knock-up. Now, as we could see there wasn't exactly much communication going on. Vi was walking down and Ahri decided to go in, so, I mean, we couldn't actually see what would have been a punish onto the Jarvan there, which should have happened, given the fact there was 3 blue side team there.
Yeah, and I mean, Vi just being in an unfortunate position where Jarvan was just able to just go over the wall. I'm not sure if he smited that in time. Sorry. Not sure if he smited that red in time, but then just pushed the Cataclysm, then just tried to get stuff, and I really just think it was really proactive, as meanwhile, Kill comes over there, Lozy picking up the kill onto the Jinx. Good night, Irene. Actually, might go down here before Lozy. I think Lozy survives this, as other members of UCD are here. It's a 4v2 at the moment. Jojo Gia has not rotated down with the rest of his team, and meanwhile, UCD trying to push this turret. Janna going to try and bolster it a bit here, but overall a really nice trade back, and that's a kill straight over to the AD carry of UCD, who's now level 8, now has an ulti online, and now has a lot of kill pressure as the Jinx ulti whiffs.
That fight was extremely good, and they got out with their life as well. Oh, Vel'Koz just kills Janna there, and Vi goes in for another engagement onto Caitlyn. She gets the kill. Can she kill Vel'Koz here? Maybe with a Q. Oh,
pushing for it. Out of the flash, String the best, trying his best there, but the kill is up. Is it going to be something? Good night, Irene. Looking for something on String the best here. Crazy Hyper Pro also around, but no, yeah, that's going to be a kill, 2 kills over to the side of QUB, so they're not out of it just yet.
It was definitely a way to recover from that engagement. They finally got a win in terms of engagements for that 2-for-1. And it's looking like the game is kind of getting back into a more equal pace. Now, given the fact that they're still 3k gold down, there's still an advantage towards the red side. But I think I'm still confident that we'll see something coming from both teams here.
Definitely think QUB, they're actually playing it all right. Their fights are playing ground. I think Marvelous Badger may have misstepped there by using the ulti to try and stay alive there when Vel'Koz had his up, because Vel'Koz damage is quite nutty. 3-1-1 now, does have a fair bit of damage. String the best, though, might be looking to try and steal these grubs away. Corona's here. UCD stopping QUB. They didn't have the vision to do anything here, and it looks like they've just given the grubs right on over to UCD. So I don't know if anyone gets Atakan yet at the moment, isn't it? Because this won't count. These grubs don't count towards the grubs one, will they?
No, they won't count towards the feat of strength, luckily enough. And I think, I'm not too sure how it works. I haven't played it very much recently of the new season, but I think it's more time-based, depending on if it hits 20 minutes and it spawns on either the north or south side of the map, depending on kill participation.
Well, String the best. Speaking of kill participation, UCD about to participate in a kill right now onto the sweeper, who is unaware String the best, is currently trying to get him. Oh, as he whiffs the flag and drag, tries to go in there, but Pluto Meanwhile is actually getting killed by QUB. QUB trying to successfully put it off, but no, because they get the kill back onto Jojo Gia. Really nicely done. Shutdown going over. UCD picking themselves up a kill onto the sweeper, as was predicted earlier on. 2-for-1 in favor of UCD.
Yeah, that was a beautiful engagement from both mid lane and top lane. I'm surprised we actually weren't able to see it a bit sooner, because it was just so fast by that engagement. And we didn't even see it coming. And believe it or not, I think this keeps on pushing them further and further ahead to a point where they might become unstoppable soon.
I mean, UCD, they're 5k gold up at 13 minutes. It's a pretty dire situation already for QUB, even though it seems to be quite even earlier on. And we were actually saying earlier on there, I really think UCD's win condition really is just snowballing. And as we can clearly see, they're just muscling through the game. A lot of this is actually on the backs of Corona, their silver substitute. Or I'm not sure if he's a part of the roster, but Corona is actually popping off 4-1-1 on this Vel'Koz. He's kind of popping off right now. Silver Smurfer in the flesh.
Yeah, exactly. And as we can see right now, red side actually got the boots of strength here. And you can see it inside of a Garen. He already got his level up boots. Soon enough, they may be able to utilize it even further. At the moment, that only one of their teammates are actually using them.
So they have feats, which is already kind of a slight advantage. Again, people used to rush these before going any items or anything. I'm not sure if they're still doing that. I don't think that's the case anymore. But having them, it's just a nice little 850 little dessert on top of you winning the game. Which doesn't make any sense. I already feel like you should really get something to stop teams getting punished. It seems to be weird to go the other way, where they're like, well, we'll give a team that's doing ahead more of a chance to win, which seems a bit counterintuitive, but...
Yeah, exactly. And especially with their recent takes on snowballing and how they want to slow the game down a bit more, it kind of feels weird to kind of counteract that with a brand new mechanic, which might just help snowball even more.
Well, that's what's going to happen here. UCD, look, they're already pushing top. They know Atakan, by the way, which is going to spawn in the top side here. Taka Wako, he might just take him out. He's got the empowered Berserker's Greaves, looking to take out the sweeper. There is nothing he can do, and Taka Wako just picks up the kill. Doesn't even need the Demacian Justice.
Exactly. And I think at this point, top lane's kind of already lost for Gwen. I feel like the gap's going to keep getting wider and wider. And eventually, Garen's just going to start building magic resistance and just going to outscale the entire team.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, they're not out of it. Sorry. QUB are not out of the game just yet. They're still... There's some hope in here, but they are 6k gold down at 15 minutes, so it's not an ideal situation to be in. They've also just lost the second dragon, so we're going to find out what soul it is soon. It will be the Chemtech dragon. So we're going to get a Chemtech soul this game. Also not fun for the side of QUB, but sure, look, no one really cares about dragons anymore anyway.
Exactly, but I mean, still going along with the idea of dragons, at least one of them is an ocean drake, and so it's not actually worth too much considering the value of other drakes. And at the moment, all we can kind of see is just a ARAM sort of thing with 3 different players. Jarvan's trying to steal their raptors. He's getting very aggressive, trying to push that lead, but he might be caught out here, and he possibly might just die here.
But Corona's actually here to try and lend a hand, and they do pick him up.
He actually
Cataclysm didn't go off in time, but they did get the kill back in response. Jinx is going to get the shutdown, but they did really help there. The ulti from Vel'Koz saving his life. This guy is actually kicking ass. Corona is doing so well. Pluto dropping that ulti down as well onto Janna. Super well played. Crazy Upper Pro forced to flash. Other members of UCD are around, but overall, that's a 1 for 2 in favor of UCD in a situation that started with a QUB engage.
Exactly, and I mean, to be quite honest with you, I think that the fact that he got a shutdown levels it out, sort of. But unfortunately, there wasn't too many people to get an assist from that kill, and so they'll actually won't be able to spread out as much gold as possible.
And it'll as well as Corona held heal. He didn't use heal there. He could have easily used heal on J4.
I'm surprised he didn't, and given the fact that he didn't, it could have been a lifesaver for him, and we can never know if it was or wasn't because he's already passed away at this point.
That is true. We can't talk about the past. We can only talk about the present and the future.
Exactly.
You know? Arakan is going to be topside though soon, right?
Yeah, and we can see short trades happening at the top lane by both Gwen and Garen. I think that's a very, very scary thing to do for Gwen, given the fact that Garen is so far ahead here. I feel like at this point, it's mainly just Garen's going to walk up, press Q, spin, and press R, and you're just done for.
Well, I mean, he's trying to stop some QUB trying to stop him doing anything here, but it doesn't really matter. It looks like he's got a lot of tenacity, got a lot of damage. I would kind of be more prideful of QUB going engaging on the Garen than the side of QUB thinking they have a numbers advantage, because Garen is quite strong right now. I would really be worried. Stream the Best also forcing QUB off the blue buff is really not a good sign for them as well. I think QUB are kind of really on the defensive here. Look at them being immediately engaged on.
Fight.
It might have been just get caught there. The Vi forced her walk away. Janna Tornado trying to knock up the Jarvan, but right now UCD are in such a dominating position. They're just trying to get some wards down the jungle, and I really don't think QUB can walk up at all right now.
Yeah, especially with that blue buff being gone, contesting all of this puts them further and further ahead. I don't think trying to sacrifice yourself for the blue buff. Oh my god!
What a play from Pluto!
Wow, I'm surprised that actually came through.
Well, it's not done yet. It's Crazy Hyper Pro might have just gone top
in mid lane as well.
He was in the Cataclysm, looking to try and kill onto the Vi as well. So that's going to be 2 for 0 in favor of UCD. Baron spawning in a minute and a half as well. And I don't know, Atagan spawning soon as well. It is really not good to be QUB right now. Currently nearly 10k gold down, but they will be after this turret falls in just a second. There you go. Also not a good sign, but yeah, I'm kind of worried for QUB here. I mean, to be fair, they're not out of it just yet, but you can see right now, 1 minute before Baron spawns, UCD are like, well, let's just try and take second Rift Herald. And I think, yeah, they have the minute. They can easily take it in time, so that's another standing objective going right into UCD's pocket.
Yeah, unfortunately, that we've seen throughout the entire game, it seems like Red Side's only just been focusing on trying to make quick wins, and then is now starting to see the value from that, and it's starting to dominate the map. Everywhere you go, every single objective, Red Side's always there. Blue Side is trying to contest it, like with the blue buff and with red buff, but they keep losing that advantage of having more players just because that Red Side is so much further ahead in gold.
I've got the items. They're ridiculously strong compared to the side of QUB right now. Like, it's 1 item versus 2 in the mid lane. Meanwhile, looking for the kill. Nicely done. Double ulti there to try and take him, but the Janna ulti is also stopping that happening. Comeback? Corona might have actually just got himself killed in an attempt to get a kill, and that is good night. Irene with the kill onto the Vel'Koz.
That was a crazy turnaround. But we'll see here on top lane, it's Gwen versus Jarvan. We can see if we can get who's going to get a kill here.
Well, the Sweeper's looking for something here on to Stream the Best. Stream the Best walking away. I'm not really sure who has much more damage. They both completed items. Stream the best, trying to walk away. Attica just spotted as well. But oh no, Caitlyn! You walked
left alone here.
Caitlyn might have just gone caught. Forced the flash as well. In goes the Vi. Sweeper is here though, and that is going to be Lowsy down. So that's a kill back to QUB, which is nice at least.
Yeah, we can see there's quite a lot of trading going in between team fights here, and during team fights, it's sort of keeping blue side with a lifeline, and I don't know whether it's cruel or whether it's a way to successfully win the game, but at this point in time, it's still a chance to stay in the game for a bit longer.
I mean, they're doing the best they can. They're down 5 kills. I know they're hemorrhaging objectives, but they're only down 5 kills. And I guess that's a little solace they can get, because right now they are currently 7k gold down. With Dragon spawning as well, I think everyone's got to position themselves around this. Maybe you trade Atakan for Dragon, but doesn't look like QB are doing that.
Yeah, I mean, depending on which Atakan it is, whether it be the Resurrection one or whether it be just the one that gives extra buffs, I feel like it depends. Your choice always depends whether or not the more valuable one actually happens, because blue but longer and better blue buff and red buff throughout the game is definitely better. But as we can see here in mid lane, there's a bit of an engage. However, they both get out scot-free.
I think it's Voracious, which means it's probably the one with the pedals. It's not it's not GA. I think it's Voracious.
Okay, it's the blue and red buff one that's better.
It's not Ruinous is more what I think it is. Sorry, it's Ruinous. I don't think it's Voracious is what I mean.
Yeah, a bit more of an engagement.
Anyway. They're looking for something. Otaka Waka looking for the sweeper here. The sweeper kind of playing with fire, because the members of UCD have just finished pushing, and now they're going all the way up towards top lane thinking, hey, why don't we just take Atakan? QUB kind of running away here. They have 3 members. I kind of feel like all of UCD are collapsing on them right now. They're way too late to get away. I don't know what they're doing right now, and it's going to be such a tough situation. 5v3. Good night, Irene. Keep an eye on him, because he's a bit late to the fight, unfortunately, as the other members get taken out. Good night, Irene. Looking for the kill. Using the ulti. Taking one out, though. Nicely done. They did get Lowsy. So that is 1 for 4 in favor of UCD, and I kind of think UCD, though, are just dominating this game at the moment.
Yeah, that was a very nice sidestep. We can still see there's some continuing engagements onto Ari, but I mean, the main problem here with inside of their blue jungle and why that fight happens is because they have no vision, and it's mainly because of red side having oracles and always dominating that side of the map. But as we can see, Herald's going to charge into tower, going to get tier 2 top tower, and then we're going to try get Akatan as well.
Yeah, they're going to try and take Atakan right now. They're going to try and get the kill. I mean, right now UCD are so firmly in control. I actually don't know if they have the health bars to do this without 3 members. It's surprisingly strong.
Yeah. That's what I really like about this new boss monster, is actually you can put up a fight on like Baron or anything else that we know of. It can actually put up a fight and cause engagements.
Gwen's looking for this. There's only 4k left on it. Jungler forced to retreat. Smite is up for both junglers, but Jojo G and the boys have arrived. And with 4k, it's getting really anyone's to play for right now. Have UCD just overstepped the welcome as Syndra lands the Unleashed Power, takes out the Gwen. Not an ideal situation for QUB. In goes Jarvan, Smite's up soon. Can he get the kill? Looking to get it. Kill goes over to QUB. They stole it. They took the Voracious Atakan. That is absolutely massive. That's GA. They got the GAs as well. They all have the GAs.
Perfect fight for it as well.
But yeah, that was so good for the side of QUB. They take out 1 member. Meanwhile, though, yeah, they're all back in base. It's 1 for 1. QUB come out so strong off that steal. I would not want to be string the best right now. I'd say he is screaming at his team.
Yeah, I'd say he's livid right now, and especially with the fact that you get that GA and you get so much less money from just getting the kill, and especially the fact that they did get some kills on red side, and they just kind of got out scot-free in my imagination of it, and they're gonna try and push their lead again back into the game, but we'll still have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, honestly, I'm quite shocked. They still have the buff. They've a fair bit of time where it's not even halfway done yet, and I mean, yeah, honestly, QUB, now they're not out of the clear just yet, but I still think they kind of need to be worried about where they're going to be. They're still down in gold. They've still got shutdowns to deal with, and they're still 9k gold down, but this will slow it down a bit. Now, admittedly, UCD are quite fed. Syndra does have a Magi Soul Stealer. Syndra does have the upgraded mobility boots. Syndra does have 60 more CS, let's call it that. But they have heart. QUB have heart right now, and that's what all they need. They're looking for Corona here. They're going for the engage. Not too sure what Goodnight Irene was trying to do there, but it's okay because he didn't get caught for it, and that's all that matters.
Exactly, and as we can see here from Jarvan, he's just trying to clear his camps, keep that lead ahead, and he might actually try to scout some Baron, and he also might try to walk into blue side, depending on if their camps come up sooner or later. Oh, as we can see, there's a mid lane engage actually as well. Kaylin instantly died.
That's actually really big for QUB. They got 1 kill onto the 80 carry.
Oh, re-engage.
Literally, Jarvan's alive though. Look how tanky he is. They might get another kill here. String the best. Double knock up. Monsoon from Janna trying to be used there, but the ulti's gone. Jojo GA takes a string the best. 1 for 1 right now. What are QUB thinking? Do they think they have the damage? I don't know if anyone else does besides maybe Jojo GA. But admittedly, that's the out of cam buff gone for Janna. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit on the fence. They did give him, that's 200 gold. I keep that in mind. That's 200 gold and a pedal to UCD. So UCD, they got more gold off that. They did get gold.
I still think it's definitely a win for the blue side, given the fact that they used all of their Akatan abilities to the revival ability to its best ability, and with that re-engage, they might be able to get something. But right now, we can see something onto Janna. We might be able to get a kill here. Oh, wow. Okay, that was an insta-kill by Syndra, not even having to bat an eye.
And that is 1 kill immediately over. Your support's out of the game. Baron's just spawned as well. 4th Dragon is up in 28 seconds, and that's your soul. So you're going to have Chemtech Soul and Baron. If you do the run of Chemtech into Baron, I mean, game's just over. I hate to sugarcoat it here, but it is quite hard, especially when the fact that Syndra, I don't know what the gold stat is, but I think Syndra might nearly be finished her 4th item right now, as Jojo Gia hasn't even finished his 3rd. And we're clearly seeing right now, it's paying off in dividends. Look at Taka Wacko destroying the sweeper. Gwen had not a hope in hell. Go at Irene gets ignited. The disrespect ignite coming out from Taka Wacko there. Absolute unit of a man.
Exactly. And I mean, at that point, like, is there even an enemy top laner for Garen to deal with? It just seems like a bigger cannon minion. But I mean, it's going to have to stay in. But you see another engage hit by Jarvan. Oh, instantly killing the Vi. Not even letting that Drake steal coming into effect.
I mean, yeah, Dragon's still there. UCD take it out. They're going to push forward onto this. Baron is now available. They're walking up towards it. I assume they're going to try and get some vision because the only ward there is 1 ward by QUB. So I think they can just walk up. I mean, honestly, they can just do it. Force QUB to walk up and try and stop them doing Baron and just take it anyway or try and steal it again. But Goodnight Irene's dead for 15 seconds. I really think they can just do it now. They have no jungler to contest with, no smite. They're looking to go over, use the explosive plan. Jojo GA forced to flash, flag and drag into Cataclysm. A nice combo from Strain That Best into the Vel'Koz ulti. 5 and 2. Nice performance from Corona, but overall, I really think Pluto and String the Best have been just laying the groundwork. Look at Taka Wacko right now, just decimating the other side. 7 and 2 as well. And honestly, like, look at him. He's just absolutely laying down the law. Good night, Irene. Oh my god, he dies.
He gets a double kill.
Taka Wacko.
But he gets countered with Jank's rocket. He got killed.
He got killed, but he's still got 4 items. He just finished his PD. He's got Phantom Dancer right now as well.
Bro's going to be back up in 50 seconds. He's going to say, don't worry about it. You can't touch me anymore.
Honestly, I really think Taka Wacko and Pluto have both played ridiculous League of Legends, and I think they really both deserve good plays. The game plays really to both of them. I'm not sure which one played better this game, but honestly, it's close. They both played it really well.
Yeah.
No contest on the Baron means UCD are in a very commanding spot, though.
I feel like soon it's going to be end of the game, given the fact that they have Baron buff. They might just be able to walk down and completely siege. Oh, we've seen an engage by the Vel'Koz, and we get Jinx's flash away, so she's able to survive. Oh, we can all see them recalling now.
It's a lull right now because we've got the objective. I think UCD just want to slowly push it in, push these waves in, and just they can either slowly break down the base, but honestly, being in a position where you're 12k gold up, I really just think they should just walk as 5, walk top lane, and just take one final fight, kill QUB, and get us out of the game. Because, I mean, you're 12k gold up. You really can't do anything else but go down from here. So I really just think they should just push it while they've such a high lead and QUB haven't finished their items, and just end game here.
Yeah, it does seem kind of hopeless in a sort of way. And, I mean, given if they just 5-stack down mid lane, they should just be able to win straight away, given the fact that the 2 of their champions aren't exactly made to deal with Garen, and one is so far behind that exactly can't stop him no matter what, given the fact that he's just so far ahead on CS, almost 300.
I mean, honestly, Taka Wacko is really just mechanicking through it. He's such a strong kind of, like, his mechanics are so much stronger than a lot of the players, like, at equal elo, that I really think there's not many people who can match him in lane, and that was kind of shown from the fact that the sweeper just kind of got decimated early on. Now, he did get help from String the Best a bit, but a lot of it was just Taka Wacko completely outplaying. So it's going to be quite hard. But look, as we clearly see, the push.
We see an engagement.
Cataclysm comes in. Monsoon used by the Janna. Caitlyn ulti goes down. Nice Vel'Koz ulti. But the charm connects onto Corona. The turret takes him out. Ari taking the kill. They're going to take the mid lane inhibitor turret. But yeah, like Inhibitor gets pushed. You look bot lane. KOKA is also taking the bot
pushing.
inhibitor. So that is going to be 2 inhibitors. UCD, I think they know they can probably end here. It's currently 4v4, but the 4 that they have are a lot stronger. As Pluto goes golden right now as well. Whereas the remaining members of UCD, they really need to be with him. Shutdown going over is quite big, but Chinese man, or I mean KOKA, is absolutely popping off. Look at him go.
Yeah,
double kill right now, 10 and 3. This is definitely got to be the end of the game, right?
Yeah, this seems like they're just going to strangle him here and just end the game as fast as they can, given the fact that Garen's going to do whatever he wants.
Honestly, I'm a bit shocked that this game went as long as it did, considering UCD were in such a strong position, so I'm really kind of shocked.
Well, a GG, that was an amazing game to watch, and definitely one of the best of the night.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first game of the night, but yeah, I definitely would say it's one of the best ones. But yeah, for game 1, I really think that was good, interesting. There was a bit of spice there. I think UCD were firmly in control throughout the whole thing, but I really think, like, fair props to QUB for their second week. I think it was pretty good showing from them. There's things they can take from it. They can definitely go from that and say, hey, we gave a good performance. Okay, we got kind of a tough situation towards the end, but we did what we could.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, there's a few issues from both sides of the team, actually. Now, we can forgive Red side more so because they are actually subbing in some new players who aren't as skilled as the main roster. But with Blue side, we can see there was definitely some communication issues between Vi and Ari and also Jinx as well. There was never really on the same kind of mindset, whether it be to engage, whether it be to try find a pick or try move somewhere. It was kind of just, I wouldn't say, well, it ended up in disaster, but it could have been avoided just given some more time and some more availability on assets such as wards and vision.
I agree. I think QUB did the best they could, but overall, really well played to UCD. And honestly, props to Pluto and Chinese Man in particular. I know String the Best did the best he could. He did pretty well, but okay, having that Adakan stolen was a criminal. That was criminal offense there. I think honestly, I think KOKA was the GOAT there. He was the one who won it. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to take it for a break right now, lads. But we will be back with game 2 of tonight. Please don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, as we are just about to get into the lobby here for game 2 of tonight for Ireland Esports Collegiate Series Spring, where I am OBK. With me is hopefully still Echo Frets, and we're just about to kick it off as we're seeing the first ban taken away for the side of this big game. And what's so big about it, you may be asking? It is a rematch of our 2024 Winter Finals between QUB Nima Nation and TUD Apes. I know draft has started. I know we're all eager to get into it. Echo Frets, I'm quite familiar with these teams. I know what's going on here. Udyr banned away immediately against L9 Dr. House. He is a menace on that champion. We see it back in response. Another menacing champion, Syndra from Adam Mars. Again, a staple champion. Yeah, he's played it like 3 splits in a row. He's good in the champ. Corky taken away. So now we're going to get more towards the meta picks. So what do you reckon we could probably see? So it's pretty much anything can be picked here, but I'd say they'll play fairly safe.
Oh, Swain. I didn't expect Swain to come out, but I definitely expect the Syndra and Corky to be gone. Those two are extremely strong. Now, off the top of my head, another one I'd probably see is Skarner. Everyone likes to play Skarner. He's very good. He has a lot of versatility, and he's very strong at ganking. And the amount of damage he has for a tank is just out of this world. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him either insta-locked or just banned outright.
Will we see a Hway DC from my mate Gramu? Do you reckon because that is kind of viable, isn't it? AP carries bot lane, so
yeah, definitely. Especially most recently, AP carry is definitely a favorite to be doing, given the fact that a lot of ADCs they don't have much they don't have much mobility, or quite honestly CC, they don't have anything to get out of an engagement. They don't have anything to start an engagement. The only thing they can do is kind of just sit in the backline and wait for everyone else to use their abilities, and then come back in later on and still probably get one shot. Whilst a mage, they actually have a lot of different tools at their exposure. They can use Seraphs, which gives them a shield. It lets them have a lot more survivability in a team fight. And they also have a lot of CC, given that a lot of these mages that picked for AP carry would be control mages. Like Veigar, he has his cage. You need to respect that, because if you get stuck in it, you can't do much. And if you get stuck around it, you can't run straight at him unless you're a Mundo, and then you have your spell shield or a Malzahn. Those are the best kind of cases.
I think Veigar is a strong champion. It's also a champ that I think we've seen Matamar play before. Another kind of solid champion, but we do see the Varus locked in. Solid champion. You can go lethality or on hit. Probably lethality versus a lot of the comps we're seeing at the moment, but it could be on hit as well. But I like it. I like early. Also the Viego, strong champ for L9 Dr. House. Pretty aggressive, but yeah, so we'll have to see what QEB pick in response. We do see the Karma. That's obviously Karma support. I mean, if you're picking that, I assume you're going to pair it. We could go Karma Caitlyn. There's a couple of champs that you could pick it with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm back to the point where you think that Varus might go lethality. It's even more so because of Serpent's thing going against Karma. It would be very good, but as we can see Twitch coming out here, and the next one should be relatively tanky, more so. It'll probably be the jungler, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, they'll probably hold on to the other picks. Just take bot lane and take jungle, but it's gonna be the Jax Hover. Maybe they thought it might get banned away in the rotation for second round of bans here, but yeah, Jax getting locked in. I assume that's going to be top lane for QEB for whoever their top laner is, because I actually can't tell. I assume actually it might be Mata Mars. No, Joe Fish, probably. Who is it? It's Nima, sorry. USSR Nima, Jesus, yeah. Nima Nation. Nima, the Kled man on the Jax. I actually haven't seen Nima's Jax, so I'm kind of interested to see what will happen. I mean, as you said, it's a good pick. Does a lot. It's being picked at the moment as well in pro play. Rakan paired with the Varus. That's interesting. A lot of team fight potential. Can set up with the Chain of Corruption as well if you pull a few people and then get the Chain of Corruption in. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, personally, I don't like lethality Varus full stop. I think on hit Varus has always been my kind of preferred build. And I know in certain areas you might be saying, oh, it's terrible. Lethality does so much more. But especially versus like, you've got an on hit Twitch. So, I mean, you kind of have free reign to kind of do what you want. You could go lethality for the one shot, but you could also go on hit if you want some shred against Jax. But I think they already have that with Viego.
Very true. And with the Jax pick as well, they've actually kind of countered 2 of their main picks, which would be Varus and Viego, mainly because their champions would be usually based around auto-attacking. So it kind of pushes Varus to either go AP, which is not very seen, or probably what's going to happen lethality. But as we can see now, Xylus is being banned out, so is Malphite, 2 very good champions. One's very good at team fighting, the other one's very good at isolating fights. And excuse me, and also stealing so many abilities that would have been useful. But however, at this point, it's not a very good ban, given the fact that it's a Karma, Twitch, and Jax. There's not very much utility that he could steal, depending on what could be picked for the next one, they might be able to get it. Poppy being taken as well. Not too sure why Poppy is taken. The only one who has a dash at this very moment would be Jax. And with Talia, I think Talia is a very strong ban to actually get through. I'm surprised they don't actually pick it, given the fact that all of their champions on red side have dashes.
I also think as well that it's also a comfort pick against L9 Dr. House. He's also kind of plays a lot of Talia, so I kind of get it as a ban. But here we go. This is a second game of the day and our second Garen of the day. White Raven Garen. I'm loving this, which means last pick will be mid, which we actually don't know yet, I don't think. But we are rounding it out. Is it Camille mid lane? Is this Jax mid? Wait a second. What are we seeing here?
I think it's a Jax jungle.
Then who's mid?
I think...
Oh, Nina Cloud, obviously. Wait, Camille mid. This is the Madamars Camille mid. It is. Has to be, right?
It's either that or it's Karma mid, but I haven't seen Karma mid in a long time.
Then what's support? Is it Camille support?
I think it's Camille support. Yeah, I think it's Camille support with whatever that support lethality item is, and trying to burst it down straight away. But a Rise is coming in as well. That's surprising.
Ooh, this is gonna be some spicy picks. Now, I think Camille support was a thing for a really short period when she came out, when Targon's was reworked. I think Camille support was a thing for a while. I remember that, but that never got off the ground past it. I'm actually really interested in this. I mean, she can dash in, she can kind of slow people down, does have the ulti to kind of lock people down to stay out of her range, but I don't know if you want that with Twitch.
I mean, it's very useful against Rise and all the other champions that can run away. It can also isolate fights versus Varus and Viego, two of the very squishy champions. And I mean, it's not exactly useful versus Garen, because you'd rather be away from a Garen than with him, because he can just burst you down so quickly. But I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting game, given the fact that there's so many champions that don't look like they'd worked well together.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty strange. I mean, considering this is a rematch of the finals match, I don't see any of these teams kind of saying, oh, hey, we'll go easy and just play comfort here. Because I know early game, it doesn't matter so much, because if they think they're going to get through to the playoff stage regardless, they're probably not going to see each other after this game anyway. Well, they probably do if the stats line up, but I mean, if you're looking to push through, I don't think it matters so much. You can kind of troll a bit, but I really don't think you should be trolling against what's potentially going to be your final rival, or if you're looking to play each other in finals. I feel like TUD, QUB, they're both seen as the top dogs in this tournament, so I really don't think they're half-assing this. So that's why I'm quite surprised for the picks with the Kled and the Jax and the Camille being picked in here in that order. So we have to see what they do, but we're going to take it to a quick break, lads. Getting into game 2, we got some spicy stuff ahead of us. I really hope you stick around with us. Please don't go anywhere. And we are just getting on the rift for our final game of the night between QUB Nima Nation and TUD Meow. Last season's finals. This splits second game of the second week. I am OBK9. With me is Echo Frets. Echo Frets, how are you feeling after seeing it's not a Camille support and it's actually Madamar's top lane? USSR Nima Kled mid of some kind. Madamar is playing. I don't know. Honestly, my head hurts. They both have TP.
Yeah,
it's mid. It's gonna be interesting.
It's kind of thrown me for a loop, to be quite honest with you. It's like, where are they gonna go? It's a guessing game at some point, but I mean, at some point, it kind of helps their own team because the red side have no idea where these people are going, and it could lead to so many different surprises, so many different engagements as well.
Like
as we
now,
can see
look
here.
at this engage. Like, look at that. Sprumble nearly just got caught immediately.
Yeah, and that'll be a nice start to his laning phase as well. Well, the blue side's laning phase on bot lane because he's lost a quarter of his HP.
He got the ward away though. That wasn't actually stopped. So the ward from Sprumble did go ahead. So they do have the ward. But yeah, I think overall it's strange. And yeah, I was right. USSR Nima against Madamar's mid. Sprumble and iMaker playing it really aggressively right now as KOKA and Saberethan back, putting that damage out. I think bot lane's going to be spicy. I say mid lane is going to have a lot of fights probably at 6, just from the fact that Nima will have charge. But yeah, be interesting.
Yeah, definitely be interesting. I mean, as we can see in top lane, it's kind of, there's a little bit of a skirmish going on, but there's no damage just yet. We're probably going to wait. In mid lane, we can see some damage being poked. And on bot lane, we can still see some more engagements happening. That Kamara trying to get that poking in. And I mean, we should probably get quite a lot of damage, depending. We can see Camille top lane pressuring her level 2 advantage. We may be able to actually see a chunk of Garant's health. There it goes.
Ooh.
And it's looking like quite a good game so far. Definitely filled with action.
Yeah, I think QUB off to an alright start. They're up in CS in top and bot. Okay, they're down mid, but yeah, it's good. I'm not sure how KOKA and Saberethan are going to do. By the way, I was we were completely wrong. It's actually on hit Varus. It's not even lethal. Yeah, which to be fair, I think that's going to be the case because if you think about it, you're against 3 bruisers. You've got Kled mid, Jax, and you've got the top laner. But the only thing that's strange, as you were saying, is Jax will counter it, but he should counter the other 2. And I think L9 Dr. House can worry about that. Meanwhile, Nima and Mitcha having that fight in the middle lane. Nima gets knocked off Skarl. Ward coming down, pushing forward. Rakan is actually rotating up potentially to left the hand, but nothing happened.
Yeah, and we see a little bit of an engage on top lane as well. Not too much happening, but it's a bit of health onto Camille, who can't really get her health back like Garen can.
Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, lethal tempo on iMaker means he's definitely going to go on hit, which I actually can respect more because he still will chunk out the Kled. He'll still chunk out the Camille. And I mean, it'll help against the shield as well, I think, because you're going to have a big, beefy Camille. I think you'd rather go on hit than go the lethal.
Yeah, that's very true. And little engagement down in his jungle as well. Jumps away.
Looking for something here. White Raven as well, fighting with Madamar's. TP used by the Kled. They're looking aggressive in both lanes here. Madamar's going in. Bot lane looking aggressive. Twitch pushing forward, trying to get those numbers out, but KOKA not going to do enough. Meanwhile, White Raven might have bitten off more than he can chew in the top lane. White Raven forced to flash. White Raven's ignited right now. Madamar's pushing forward for the kill. Can he do it? He has TP available, does not have the flash. It looks like White Raven might try and walk this out. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, another fight happens here. We see clapped away. USSR Nima gets knocked off the Scar, but L9 Dr. House gets taken out. And that's first blood going over to KOKA in what TUD started. That flash gets used by Rakan. White Raven trying to walk away. This might be a second kill somewhere. It's just a matter of finding it. No, it is not, because QUB can't get the last slivers of health.
Oh, but we can see a re-engagement happening here in the river. We might be able to get some kills down. Rakan goes in, rooted as well. Oh, might go back in for another engage. 4v3. Can we see what's happening here? We're focusing on... Yeah, they're focusing on Varus right now, trying to get Ryze instead. He has no mana. He might be able to get a kill. Oh, nice. Good. We got one there. But there's a re-engagement from Garen onto Camille. What is going on here? We just saw him recording just 2 seconds ago.
And I mean, overall, again, QUB came out ahead in that. Down goes Mitcha, and that's currently an 0-1 jungler and an 0-1 mid laner. And tables have really turned here because it's going to be interesting. But White Raven might have bitten off a little something there. He drives to tower. 1 for 1. I actually think...
And one...
oh.
And Rakan gets a kill inside red buff as well.
This is very strange. It's already 3 for 2.
Yeah,
I don't know
well, I
what's
mean,
happening. Skirmishes across the board, really.
at least blue side's got their first feats of strength. They got 3 kills now.
Yeah, QUB on the board, pathing towards potentially getting that feat of strength. Pretty good in them as well, considering you can probably get upgraded tabbies on 3 members of it. You can get tabbies on Kled, tabbies on Jax, and tabbies on
Yeah,
Camille,
exactly.
so that's pretty good. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, given the fact that this was the finals game, there's been so much action that, oh my god, we just have no idea what to expect next.
I definitely think White Raven is going to be really careful here, because once Camille starts getting ahead, it can be quite hard to trade with her.
I mean, whenever Camille has to go in a bit later on for that Q trade, one of them's going to come back out on top, and I don't think it'll be Camille. I think Garen will just run her down depending on if she gets too close. Now, as we can see, there's more poking going on from Rise here onto Kled, and some more onto Twitch here by Varus.
Varus level 5, he's not 6 just yet. Jungler's pathing. You do see L9 Dr. House, but sorry. Dr. House is doing Dragon right now as well. So right now we do see that USS Arnima's path towards that bot lane. Jungler is actually doing Grubs, so they're going to trade Grubs for Dragon. I don't know which one's really more valuable. Jack's picking up the Void Grubs. Well, actually, probably Grubs, because that's your first. 3 Void Grubs is your feat of strength, isn't it? So I assume is that them? They got all 3 Grubs. Is that their feat of strength?
No, so for how the Grubs work is that it counts as 1 point. You got to get all 3 and get 1 point. So you need 3 different kind of dungeon monsters to get it. But as we can see here, there's a bit of an engagement on top lane by Camille and Garen. And back to the point, whoever gets the first 3 monsters, epic monsters, will get the feat of strength along with the side of probably first tower from red side if they do get that.
Yeah. So first tower, 3 monsters, 3 kills. God, they really couldn't make it easy, could they?
No, they could never make it easy.
Oh, nice. Use the Hextech Ultimatum there. Madam Mars taking out White Raven, does use the Ignite, but
very
overall,
nice.
Really well played by him.
Exactly, very nice. And that's definitely a very good way on punishing a Cull Garen who starts that.
Yeah, White Raven right now, really not the position you want to be in, especially when Camille had the Sheen. He does pick himself up at Tiamat, but I think Madam Mars is sitting on a lot of gold right now. It's going to be a pretty tough situation for him. Kelko and Saber Ethan haven't done too much. They are 1 kill up, though, which is kind of where you want to be on Twitch, just scaling. So we see Sprubble walking away, trying to get out of there. I think Varus is kind of being put behind a wee bit with that extra kills. And I think Kelko going the BF sword means he's going Yuntals or something, probably. I'd imagine it's Yuntals or some sort. Or the Eye Edge, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Now, what can happen here is Varus and Rakan can force the fight here. Varus is level 6, he might be able to get the kill, but he doesn't know where the enemy jungler is, and so because he has no vision. And I don't think they'll actually be able to do anything. But he's still pressuring it right now. As you can see, they're pressuring off CS. He can't be able to walk up, otherwise he might actually be killed. But depending on how far they want to take it, I don't think they'll actually get much out of it.
Yeah, and that's really the thing. I'm kind of interested really in how they do it. I kind of think that TUD need to be really careful. I think QUB are definitely in a more controlling situation. I think QUB have got a real lead going on right now. 1-0-0-1 on your Kled with 3 long swords and a bit more cash. He's definitely could be in control. He can start roaming as well. He's level 6, as we're clearly seeing now. Nima, once he kind of gets that kind of pushed his way, but he can just immediately push toward the bot lane where the fight's just happening. Rise round warping in goes Kled with the charge, looking for the kill, looking on the Nima. Kelko gets taken out there by L9 Dr. House. This is actually going okay for TUD. TUD walking about. Nima gets taken out. 2 kills for the jungler of TUD.
Wow, that was crazy. It was especially such a unforeseen kind of team fight there. Everyone coming from every single angle, but we can see here Viego's going in on who's that, I believe? It's Jax. Everyone going on the Jax. We're gonna get the kill easily.
I mean, Jax gets taken out, and this is 3 kills currently over. Potentially looking at a 4th kill for L9 Dr. House. He goes in, uses the Heartbreak.
Wow.
That's going to be 4 kills. Can he make it 5? Someone get this person out of here. But the kill goes over to Toymaker Mu. And that is a really nicely done play for TUD.
Exactly, and they're pushed so far ahead because of that now. 2k gold up, and, you know, it's just going to keep on pushing that advantage. We can still see a bit of a skirmish on top lane here, but I don't think much is going to come out of it, given the fact there's no minions. And he's just going to heal all that damage back up again. And as people as they start to walk back into lane and refresh themselves, Jack should start heading towards red side, get his camps done, and he might actually look for another engagement. But we can see right now there's a lane swap between Kled and Camera with Twitch. And we can see what happens here in just 2 seconds.
White Raven right now gets caught in the Hexic ultimatum again. Ignite going through. Madamar is really just laying down the law right now. White Raven has the CS advantage, but Madamar really does win these trades.
Yeah, and it's definitely a very good thing that he keeps doing this because of the coal. If you can never get that coal done, it's kind of just a waste of money. And it also, in my mind, it's kind of just very demoralizing to see that your coal doesn't move for the next 2 minutes. You keep looking down, it's like, oh, no, it's still not done yet. Still got to pay it off. And it must just be so infuriating. But as we can see, there's currently a grubs fight going on. Viego tries to have a look around, but I don't think anything's going to come out of it. And I think Blue Side is just going to secure all 3 grubs.
And that is 2 objectives now. They're 1 away from getting that last feat of strength and or the first tower, because Madamaris is actually pushing to try and take first turret right now. TP gets used by Mitcha, who's putting himself in the top lane, looking like a lane swap right now. Garen going towards the bot to match that Kled. Not sure what the chances are going to be, but we'll give Garen a shot here.
Exactly, and so far we can see there's a bit more of another lane swap. Ryze going top, Garen going bot. I'd say probably a better engagement, a better matchup for Garen versus the Kled, simply just because he can survive a bit longer, while as Camille just, you know, Q, and half your health bar's gone. Just like what happened to Ryze.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I'm actually kind of a bit worried for QUB right now, because TUD kind of sliding in a bit here. 4-1, Triforce completed. Well, White Raven's really not making it easy, as he is about to nearly get taken out there. Forced to flash, forced to walk away. White Raven's kind of not doing so hot, but the remaining members of TUD are really kind of coming into their own.
Yeah, exactly.
Played, completed, and all.
And it's kind of calmed down now. Besides that fight just a few seconds ago, we can look around the map. Nothing much is actually happening. We're kind of just clearing wards, we're farming camps, we're coming back to lane. Just trying to get further and further into the game without actually getting any more kills.
Well, I mean, speaking of not more kills, here comes a kill right now as Nima's getting chased down by White Raven of Dr. House. Sprummel's here too, going again the knock up, trying to get something. L9 Dr. House, can he get the kill? Fourth the flash into Nima. Ulti does not connect, but he's trying to get him with the auto there. L9 Dr. House, 5-1-1 right now. He is laying down a masterclass on Viego.
Exactly, and he even got the flash because of it. And it seems like this team is just unstoppable with the amount of kills they're getting. Oh, but we can see an engagement here onto Ryze. It's a bit early, but we still might be able to get a kill out of it. One flashes over the wall, and okay, red buff flies back over, but we might be able to get a kill quite easily. Oh, nice, Ryze goes down, and we can see Varus trying to run away here while Rakan walks up.
Meanwhile, though, we see our Maker Moo walking forward a bit there. He's trying to find something. Doesn't have the Chain of Corruption available. No summoners neither. Madamars is also kind of in a good spot. He's a Triforce completed. I think he really can do a lot. He's a lot of split push pressure, something that White Raven really can't match. So I really would be worried for the top lane matchup, but I really think if you put someone to match Madamars, it's not as bad.
I mean, what I can see right now, it's kind of a horror show, maybe even a terrorist kind of game, where Jax is down 30 CS. He just went up 20 CS now. He's so far behind, 2 levels as well. Sorry, 1 level, my apologies, he just went up. And I don't understand how he's so far behind. Maybe it's all the team fights, but if that was the case, Viego should also be that far behind. But I mean, it might have just been kill participation between everyone, and it just let Viego get so far ahead, he kept just getting kill after kill after kill.
I mean, speaking of level differences, Kelko also a level down to iMaker Moo. That's actually quite big as well. iMaker Moo has the blade, he's going on hit, so I assume he's going to go Winzy's Rage Blade or something second item. Nice spike from Yuntals, as predicted, picked up there for the Twitch. White Raven looking to die to turret, but Kelko actually lands the auto! What are you doing, Mr. Raven?
Oh my god. And now we can see they're trying to still catch mid lane right now. There's some poke coming out, but it all misses. There might be some turmoil happening inside bot river soon. They're kind of grouping around mid. Viego's going back to get Gromp, and it seems like everything is kind of calmed down again. Who's going to go top lane? They might be able to save the tower, but depending on how fast the wave gets here and how fast Camille actually kills the enemy wave, it depends on if first turret will go to them, and if so, feats of strength will also go to them.
Yeah, I'd be really worried right now, because both teams have ups and downs, but Abacan feats of strength going over to one team is definitely going to be a bit of a turning point as well. I also think it's kind of scary that because it's so close, 5 of TUD's kills are currently on L9 Dr. House. So if he goes down in a fight, that's really dire because that only leaves 3 of your team's kill gold on standing there. And as you can clearly see, they're all kind of dead even besides L9 Dr. House. Currently also 30 CS up on Joe Fish. Joe Fish really not having a great game, but again, he can easily come back into this. Atakan, as we see, is going to be top lane. So that's nice at least, but I mean, that's where the most fighting's happening, so I believe it's going to be Ruinous Atakan, not Voracious. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have no idea. But we can see up here, there's an engagement. TP's coming through. Ignite's out. Viego's going back in. Oh, they're backing up. Okay, so they're kind of just stalling it for now. There might just be a bit of a staring match happening, but we go down to mid lane. We can see Varus actually having a bit of a fight. Oh, maybe getting a double kill here.
I make her move.
Oh my god, that was crazy. Double kill for Varus, and that puts him so much further ahead against their bot lane counterparts.
I definitely think that was really insane. The flash in from American Move, he didn't have the Chain of Corruption available, but it didn't really matter. He had the barrier, he had the flash, he had the cleanse. Look at the moves! Cleanse, look at the moves! What was that? American Move actually moved his way to victory there, and I mean, yeah, move, you know?
Yeah, and exactly. Down goes first turret, so we might actually see Feats of Strength being severely contested over here in this next Grubs fight.
I think, yeah, next Grubs fight will definitely be interesting because this is definitely the fight for the last Feat of Strength if you want to take turrets out. Because first turret, did I believe it went over to the side?
It went over to red
PD?
side.
Yeah, so this is going to be the feat. If they get Rift Herald here, this is going to be the feat.
Oh, the massive fight happening here.
TUD looking pretty good. They're looking for the engage. They're looking to try and force something out here. They're pushing forward. They're putting flash in from White Raven, looking to try and kill something. Nicely done with the Damaskian Justice, taking a save Reason. In comes the charge, though. QUB not done just yet. Looking to push. In comes the remaining members. TUD are now with the defensive, but Moo takes out Drax. Moo takes out Twitch. Moo and Garen are all taking him out. That is going to be 3 kills going over to TUD, as well as, I believe, the Rift Herald, which means they're also on 2 feats of strength. So I actually don't know who's closer now. I think if they take Dragon, which is spawned right now, that is the feats of strength zone for TUD.
I actually think feats of strength have already been obtained by Red Side. If you look down at their icons, they can already purchase it.
I can't see because Riot Games make Ninja Tabbies look so similar to when it doesn't have the feats, thank you, right?
Yeah,
and I'm just checking, yep. Dip, beep, boop, boop, checking. Yes, that it is completed. You are dead right. I have checked the stats, and that is indeed upgraded.
Yeah. Now, after that team fight, they're kind of just going to push their advantage. They're taking Drake right now. They can do whatever they want on the map as everyone tries to have a reset. Rakan's walking up, trying to just get some vision, trying to disturb and completely just stop the enemy team from walking up and having any kind of chance on stealing Ocean Drake.
Look at him sitting there, 5 tabbies on my team, and I can't do anything. Like, look at TUD, the 5 tabbies strat. I love it so much.
Oh.
Joe Fish and the boys not having a good time. To be fair though, like Karma's not doing much since she's gone Mikhail's first item. All of your damage is AD versus like a team that could have Garen could probably build a bit more armor if he wants to neither. Don't know about Viego, but he's picking up something anyway. And I mean, yeah, this is really dire. Armor's already kind of dire enough as is, so all you really need is a Knight's Vow, and I kind of think that for Sprumble to pick up, and I think they're kind of in a better spot. I really think TUD, yeah, it's full AD versus a mixed damage team for the side of TUD, which is kind of maybe a bit better, but yeah, don't know what QUB were thinking about that one.
Oh, there's a bit of engagement down here on the gank at the very bottom. They're going to try and get Garen. He might be able to just get a kill so quickly. Yep, he does. That's Garen for you. He might be able to, you can just kill everything with it. He's ultimate from half HP. That's crazy.
Garen gets taken out. He does manage to take out Joe Fish for his troubles, which means having the jungler so far behind is really rough because having smite steals later on, it will be quite hard when you're so squishy.
Exactly. And given the fact that Red Side's, the only thing they need to worry about, as you said before, is the fact that of AD. So they might just keep stacking armor on top of armor on top of armor. Viego's already started to do it. And I imagine Garen's going to do it relatively soon, where they just become unstoppable. We see Herald top lane right now, trying to rush into the tower. Might be able to get tier 2, but no, there's 2 people to stop them. They might still be able to get it, though.
I mean, they're looking for it right now. I don't really, don't think QUB are in a position where they can really contest this. And TUD, also, by the way, gold swings crazy. Nearly a 5k goal lead for TUD at 20 minutes, which not as big as their last game, but when these 2 teams are so close together, that's quite big, considering how close the teams are in skill. So I'd be quite worried for QUB. I definitely think they're on the back foot, and with Baron spawning, okay, 5 minutes on Baron, 3 minutes on Dragon, so they have time to catch up in gold and get themselves a bit stronger, but I also think they're on a timer here where Varus starts getting his 3rd item, L9 Dr. House gets his 3rd item, and White Raven starts getting his 3rd item, where I really worry as the Chain of Corruption goes wide onto Madame Mars. They're looking for the kill. Madame Mars just decimates White Raven there, but he is eventually going to go down to Eye Maker, man.
I mean, can you be surprised? Camille Q is just crazy. It honestly might just be Garen's ultimate on a basic ability, just with like cho'gaths, but it's crazy how much true damage that comes out of it.
Honestly, I'm a bit shocked, to be honest, how well they're doing. But meanwhile, L9 Dr. House going in there with Saber Ethan running away with his tail between his legs, I would definitely be a bit worried for the side of QUB. Mitcha taking out Saber Ethan, 3 members dead for the side of QUB. Atakan on the menu for TUD, and what are QUB going to do to stop this?
I don't think they're going to do anything. I don't think they actually can do anything. Everyone's so far behind. They're 5k gold up as well. No one's on the map. And the only place that they can actually be is probably mid lane right now. CS is pushed so far up in both top lane and bot lane. If they were to even try go there, they'd probably just get immediately ganked and killed.
And it was ruinous Atakan, meaning they get the epic monster reward buffs for all their dragons and stuff. So that is kind of scary. TUD in a seriously commanding spot right now.
Yeah, and hoping with those buffs that they stay for the entire game, and even more so the fact that your entire team can get it thanks to these relatively new blue and red buffs, which gives it to everyone.
Yeah, I'm a bit shocked, to be honest. I really think TUD, considering they started off, it started a bit dicey for TUD, they've really taken such a strong commanding position, and I really think QUB are kind of on the back foot here.
Yeah, I mean, after the Herald fight, it hasn't actually recovered. I don't think it can recover, depending on if they actually get a team fight. As we can see, their goal difference keeps going up and up and up. Red side keeps getting ahead, further. Garen can just run at whoever, unless it's Camille, and Camille can just run at whoever, unless I think it's probably Rise, just because he can run away so far with his ultimate.
You see, Rakan has upgraded his boots to being the upgraded boots, so that's already the first step for TUD, and I think I'd be quite worried right now if I was QUB. Admittedly, I think Nemo Nation, they're not out of it just yet. They can definitely find a fight. They have a comp that can engage. Admittedly, though, they needed Kled to be a part of that, to be a core member of that team. And as we see, Demacia and Justice just being served for overstepping there for Mr. Nima. Nima gets taken out. Madame Mars, I'm not sure how close this fight's going to be to Mitcha. I think Madame Mars might actually win it because they do have the Hextech ultimatum available if they want to use it. But Mitcha also, relatively speaking, quite strong. So I think they can stop this split push, definitely.
Given the fact that Camille has Ravenous, she can just keep going in for pokes. If there's a wave there, keep getting that life steal. But as we can see, there's a bit of an engagement red side jungle right now. Rise is coming down to give him a hand. Rakan should just be able to get out, but no, Camille Qs him, takes half his HP. God forbid that champion gets nerfed. And they get Drake free.
That's Soul. That's Dragon Soul immediately going over there for the side of TD.
Yeah, it seems like they're in a commanding position. 5 towers, and Drake Soul as well, and they also have got Herald. You can't really stop them from doing anything. They can just kind of own the map for free. I'm surprised we haven't seen more action inside of the enemy's jungle, inside of blue side jungle, given the fact of how far ahead they are. That you might want to push that advantage a bit more, but I think they're just kind of standing back. They want to just scale as much as possible. They don't want to take any risky fights to try and give blue side any kind of way back into the game.
I definitely think that's the case, because I also think if you calculate like which team is stronger at 3 items, I also think since TUD are so far ahead, they just get 3 items so quickly, and as soon as they get 3 items, I really think they're so much stronger. Like Varus finishes his Wit's End, or well, I don't think he bits Wit's End here. Maybe he finishes his what's the item called? The Pen Armor item. That one. That's very good.
Can't honestly remember.
Can't remember, but that one. If he finishes that, he's in a good spot. But you see Kled going in aggressively here. TP going to be used. Rise coming into the fight. It's a 4v4, 5 of them. A 5v4 in favor of QUB, as there was a late TP there from Mitcha. Not all the communication being used there, but L9 Dr. House gets chunked out, looking for something. Going to use the ulti, looking for the kill. Chain of Corruption gets used, but they don't find anything off it. White Raven taking out USSR Nima. 4v4 now. Can they do it? Can Mitcha and the boys do something? Meanwhile, though, the Hextech ultimatum, no member of TUD to help out. I kind of think Mitcha might just be dead here.
Yeah, it seems like he kind of just overstepped his boundaries. He thought the rest of the team was with him, but he didn't communicate it whenever he tried to go in, and it kind of just cost him his life, and also gave the shot down to the blue side team.
I mean, it's not the end of the world just yet, as we still see shutdowns on Eye Maker Moo and on L9 Dr. House. but definitely I would be a bit worried. I definitely
Oh,
think right now, iMakerMu though, fighting Joe Fish does the damage there. Madam Mars trying to stop this from happening. Look at iMakerMu going absolutely Ruler. Genji, Ruler over here. Oh my god, Ruler. Ruler going hard. Ruler looking for the kill. Ruler looking for something here. And no, they do not, unfortunately. The 700 goal shutdown going over to Madam Mars. Sprumble running with his tail between his legs. And actually, Alan Dr. Howe's not going to rotate down for that, but White Raven, I'm not sure whether they can match USSR Nima, but I mean, they're definitely putting pressure there.
I mean, after that team fight, it's such a surprise seeing how we can flank them and then also get those 2 kills for basically free. Varus gave it a very good shot to try stay alive, but it wasn't too successful for him. We can see Rakan now trying to get tier 2 turret, and it's kind of just somehow blue side is kind of getting back into the game just by doing and taking advantage of every single thing they can actually do and taking as many risks. And to be quite honest with you, I think that's the correct way to play the game. At this point, you need to take risks. You need to try and find any way back into the game. And if you just let them scale, they're going to scale until a point where you can't deal with them anymore.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's very. I'd be very worried if I was QUB. I definitely wouldn't be as happy as TUD are right now. I think TUD are definitely happy with their current situation.
Yeah, we can see there's a bit of a smite struggle over side blue. It's quite an easy steal, and they're currently hovering around Baron, so they might look for a Baron force. Now, I'm not too sure how wise it is, but they're actually going to try and force it now, and we'll see how this comes up. They might actually be able to come and counter it. It just really depends.
Yeah, honestly, I'm actually quite shocked right now. I think both teams really need to be careful. I think TUD, though, are in too much of a commanding position where they don't really care so much. They're just going to take it, and there's nothing QUB can do to stop it. As Rakan, nicely done, does knock up the other members of QUB, stop them going for the steal, but they might lose their life for it. Mu takes out Madam Mars, though. Look at iMakerMu, absolutely putting out serious damage numbers. That's going to be a triple kill for iMakerMu. Very nicely done there for the side of the TUD AD carry. That is going to be the ace, and with death timers so high, I think that's going to be the game.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's going to be the game. Rakan did an amazing job there, just completely like forcing blue team to stay back. They could not walk into the jungle. They could not do anything. And by the time they got to Baron, it was already dead. You can't change any of that. And I think Rakan in this game is probably the MVP.
Honestly, yeah, I think Rakan played so well. I think they played very well. Honestly, I think iMakerMu played a bit better there. But yeah, I think honestly, well played from all the members of TUD. Really well played game. That is going to be game 2 on that note. iMakerMu has left the game, and iMakerMu has really left a mark on that series there, because I think they played super well. I think overall, really well played from TUD. QUB had some good situations. They had some nice ideas early on. I definitely didn't agree entirely with their drafting. I think it was a bit strange to throw the triple quad AD. The quad AD, hell, even AP Twitch would have been better there, but the quad AD at TUD, a team that could really deal with it. I really think they were in a bit more scary position there. But yeah, any other notes you want to add?
I mean, I just think it was a good game overall. It may have been a bit weird inside the Tramp Select, as you said, and the fact that it was a bit of an oversight, the fact that everyone went AD. Like, I think they might have just relied on Camille a bit too much with their true damage, and maybe Karma as well. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was still a really good second game. And for the finalists, I think the amount of fighting that happened so early on gave us such a good show and let us had so much enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, it was a great game. I mean, most damage in the game is, in this case, iMakerMu, who I think really did serious amounts of damage for that game. Yeah, really
I completely agree.
I think, honestly, really well done from TUD. Really dominating performance against the team that they got all the way to the finals last time. So considering that's probably going to be their opponent, like, if they get to, well, besides UCD potentially, I think that's kind of the one team to beat right now is TUD QUB. So for them to beat QUB that kind of convincingly really shows the standard of player that TUD are producing right now. I think they're really doing well. I think with their societies, whatever they're doing in their college, they're really bringing good players in. They're bringing the talent, and I think I've actually seen some of these players in the UK as well. Align Dr. House, actually also another player playing in the UK tournament as well. You can clearly see that from his discrepancy and how good he is versus Joe Fish. He really made Joe Fish look like an amateur jungler when really Joe Fish he's a pretty good solid player, a solid jungler, as we saw last play. I think he was Masters last play or something. Yeah, Joe Fish is a good jungler, so to see him just kind of walk all over Joe Fish really showed the standard of Align Dr. House. But overall, I think really good series.
Exactly. I also think it's a very good, very, very good show out of both teams and throughout the entire 2 different streams we've done.
Yep, that was really good. But that is going to be our last game of the day, everyone. But we will be back next week. Do not go anywhere. Thank you for tuning into the stream, lads. Good night.
Thank you so much.